Hi class, we're going to be talking about the Native American influence that we see today in sports and games. I'm going to be presenting my slide with you. All right, so some of the games that we see today were influenced by some of the sports or games that were played by Native Americans in history. So we're going to talk a little bit about the historical games, and then we'll talk about the present games that are similar to those games. So lacrosse is a game that we play today. It is also a game that was played by many Native Americans in history. So lacrosse, the objective of the game is to catch the ball in the basket and to throw the ball into the other player's goal. So a basket is at the end of the stick. Skills needed are speed, fielding, strength, stamina. You use a buckskin or wood ball, a carved racket with a basket. The winner is the team with the most points. So I wanted to highlight a Native American athlete who is famous for his lacrosse skills. This is Lyle Thompson. Lyle Thompson says lacrosse, well, the website for his tribe, the Onondaga, says lacrosse at Onondaga is considered sacred. It is a game that was given by the creator to be played for the creator. And then down below is a quote by Lyle Thompson. It says, or he says, "I always felt I was born into this game. This game is tied to our culture." And so he is a Native American athlete who is an awesome lacrosse player. Okay, we're going to go ahead and watch this clip of Lyle Thompson.
Thompson, he's a magician with the stick. It's so hard to play him one-on-one.
Also, pay attention to how the game is played.
Thompson spinning back to the inside. Back and forth he goes out on the island. It's off to Lyle Thompson. Got a good matchup here. The Warrenton winner. Played at a different level that I hadn't seen this summer from him over the course of his career.
All right, so you're going to be accessing this slide, actually all these slides. So if you want to watch more of Lyle Thompson play lacrosse, you can come back to this slide and watch this video. Another game that was played by Native Americans is called the game shinny. It's like field hockey, so they called it shinny. The description of the game is that there was a bag that was hit into the other person's goal. You can get the bag into the other person's goal by kicking it and hitting it with your stick, but you cannot use hands. You need speed, strength, stamina. Stamina because sometimes the field could be as long as 1 mile long. So it's known that the field could also be 200 yards long. So it's a very long field. So imagine a football field is 100 yards and the field for this game could be 200 yards to 1 mile long. You need a bag or a ball. So a ball or a bag made up of buckskin, which is animal skin, and curved sticks. Both men and women would play this game, and the person with the most points would win. And a game that we play today that is a lot like the game of shinny is hockey. So field hockey and ice hockey. For ice hockey, I wanted to highlight TJ Oshie. He's a centerman for the St. Louis Blues. He skated with the Sioux Falls Stampede in the USHL and the University of North Dakota in his college days. Okay. Snow Snake is another game that was played in Native American history, and it is very much like today's javelin throw. For this game, you throw a sliding dart or pole across the snow. The person who throws it the furthest wins. For the skills that you need are strength and throwing. Equipment used are a dart or a pole. The person who throws their dart or pole the furthest across the snow or through the snow wins. And like today's game is the javelin throw. And the javelin throw, which is an Olympic event, somebody takes a pole and they throw it as far as they can. And then we go ahead and we measure the distance of which they threw that pole. So that's the javelin throws, a lot like the snow snake game. Hoop and pole. Hoop and pole is usually played by two men in this game. Men used a rolling hoop as a target for their pole throws. And you need focus, speed, strength, arrows or spears, and a wood or corn husk or stone or iron loop. So they used the loop that was thrown across, and then it was the objective of the game was to hit that loop with your arrow or spear. The person with the best aim wins. I wanted to highlight some female athletes. So we have Dawn Kelly, and she is Yichi Quapaw in Cherokee. She was one of the first women inducted to the Hall of Fame in 1995. She was a women's single, double, and mixed double champion in the National North American Indian Tennis Championships. On the other side, we have Reyneldy Becenti, who is Navajo. She was one of the first Native American women to play in the WNBA. So for this task, we're going to be creating our own games. And first, you'll need to complete the slide with a description of the game and objective. So tell me, what is the purpose of your game, or how do you win your game? You're going to tell me what skills you're going to need. What kind of skills are people going to need to be successful at this game? Do you have to be a fast runner? Do you have to have good aim? Do you have to have be good at throwing or catching? What is the skill that you need? Running, what is it? You're going to be listing equipment that you're going to use. So what is it that people need to play this game? There are games where you don't need any equipment at all. So some games, like maybe it's not a sporting game, but it could be a game that you play with someone else. Like maybe we stare at each other until someone makes a mistake and laughs. That's a game. I don't need any equipment for that. You're going to list the rules of the game and how points are made, and then explain the scoring. So what you can use is you're going to use one of your sheets of graph paper, just one, and you're going to design your own board game. Now you can make a board game like a game that you play where you roll dice, or there's something to do with the spinners, and you can actually create your own board game here. Or if you want to create your own sport, you could do that too. Now I think about fields. I'm just going to design my board game here. I'm going to design my field. So I thought about a game, maybe it's like tetherball, but maybe it's like wrestling too. In wrestling, there's a ring that you can't leave. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of string, and this is kind of a trick, and I'm going to tie it to my pencil. Now, if you use string from your bag, just make sure you put it back, because we're going to use that string for a different project later. So this is just a project that we're going to complete in between some of our art projects, but this is still art project. So I'm going to take my pencil, I attach it to the string, and I want to make a perfect circle. I just put this down. I put my finger down. I put the pencil down. And let's see, can you see that? Okay, so I'm going to put my pencil through here, through the loop. And then I'm going to put my finger down. And then I'm going to go around here. So I know that I want my field to be a circular field, and I'm just going to connect the part that's not connected. Okay, so I have a circular field. And now I'm going to think about, okay, where my boundary is going to be, where are different players going to play. And maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this into pieces. And maybe I'm going to have, I love games with a lot of players. So maybe I'm going to say like 5 players at least for each team. So I'm going to make 5 lines for each side. So I should have how many pieces altogether? Yeah, I should have 10, because I said I want 10 players, not for each team, 5 players for each team, 10 players altogether for one game. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I went ahead and I divided it, and maybe we're going to play this with a ball. So I'm going to put the ball down here. And maybe it's kind of like Foursquare, but instead of bouncing the ball, maybe you have to toss it up. Maybe like a hacky sack. Maybe it's going to be like a hacky sack ball. Maybe you have to toss it up. So I'm going to be creating my rules and my games, me talking about where the players stand. You can either draw a stick figure person or draw a person on your own. You could draw like an X if you want to show that all the X's are people, kind of like a football game book. But there's different things you can do, but use a sheet of graph paper to draw or create your own game. Go back into this slide. I want you to fill out the description of your game, the objective, what skills you might need, what equipment you might use, and what are the rules and scoring. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. If you need help with any of your assignment, you can log in between 1 and 4 each day, and I'll be online so I can help you.